You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings.
Wow, that's a great intro.
Good morning. Welcome to Brewtiful Morning, Main Street, Rutherford. Thank you for all for joining us this morning. My name is Jimmy Dancy. I'm the mayor of this wonderful town of Rutherford. And I have with me my sidekick this morning. Now, usually you just say your first name. Tell them your full name.
Jackson Robert Hochsclaw, DDNC. That's
Whatever that is, Jackson Robert Hochsclaw.
It's a lot of names.
That's what he was going to say. And now tell them how old you are.
6.
Not really.
Wow.
He's only 4,
Okay.
but he likes to be a grown-up. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thanks for joining us every Friday morning at 8:30. So we try to bring to you some information that's going on in our town and things that are happening. And today we're in-house, and we're going to be talking about, we have a lot of great groups that helps the town, committees, organizations that helps us. We're going to talk about some information that one of those committees worked on this week. So I'm excited to hear about the information that they've got going. But join us each Friday. Now, I'm not sure, but Jackson, didn't you say you had a knock-knock joke?
No.
Oh, you don't have one?
Ooh.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait till next time. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Jackson, you want to knock? I'll give you a knock-knock joke. Jackson, you want to do a knock-knock joke?
Halloween down.
All right, ready? Jackson, knock-knock.
Who's there?
Frank.
Thank you.
Frank, you too.
Well, let's do yours. Say knock-knock.
Knock.
Magnolia, knock-knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo-hoo.
You don't have to cry.
You don't have to cry. He'll tell you.
I like his better.
Yeah.
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 As Jackson would say, folks, that's the best we can do for today. So thank you again for joining us. Thanks for Magnolia and Doug getting us on the line, and got a special in-house guest this morning. So we'll turn it over to you. Everybody have a great weekend. Don't forget, this is a weekend. We move forward on the time, so we want you to be on time at church on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Spring forward.
See ya. Say goodbye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Daffodils
Bye.
are
Bye,
out.
Jackson.
I'm escaping from here.
Oh, sometimes that's the best part of the show.
That is the best part. I can pretty well guarantee that's the best part of this show.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put Willard's name in the tag on the thing, but without introduction, Willard Whitson from Kid Census International Children's Museum. That's what we dropped.
I like
on
Children's Emporium.
Yeah.
You know.
So this week, the RTR board, which is Rutherford Town Rising, which is our national accredited Main Street organization, all volunteer driven. We had our Main Street conference, statewide Main Street conference this year. And the conference at the last minute went virtual. But one of our board members is Jim Masick from the Carrier Houses. And so we decided as a board to shift from virtual to hybrid style. So our entire board for RTR met in person for virtual style meetings at the Carrier Houses. And it was amazing. Matter of fact, Magnolia is just living it up right now because of the breakfast, right, Magnolia?
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if anyone watching has had the opportunity to eat breakfast at the Carrier Houses, but I have to say that it was honestly life-changing. Like, it lived up to everything that everyone has said. So I'm really excited. So Jim's yogurt parfait made such an impact on my life that I had to make something that does not even compare to it for myself for breakfast this morning. So I'm just dreaming about it all the time.
Well, Jim's breakfasts are so good that even if you live here, you should book a weekend at the carrier houses to get his breakfast.
I agree. Yeah, it's a shame that he, you know, with his bread and breakfast license, that he can't open up as a restaurant. But the experience of staying there is so fun.
Oh, it's great.
So
great.
And it's reasonable. You get breakfast. You know, when you look at the room rate, it's not just like the Holiday Inn breakfast either. You know? All right, so let's jump into it. So we had a great conference. We learned a lot of different things. It was very energizing for our Main Street board to kind of set some goals and initiatives moving forward into 2020. Willard and I joked that this is Studio A or Studio B with the change around of the camera here, but we attended or actually were participated in a youth-friendly downtown kind of seminar, and I'll let Willard kind of speak about his experience through that. We were in with the towns of Hendersonville and Morganton and Rutherfordton, and we were kind of showcasing how, you know, different traits can make into a youth-friendly downtown. So I'll throw it over to you, Willard, and let you talk through that.
You know, one of the things, there were a couple of take-homes for me, not specifically related to this conference, but one, it reinforced the awareness that we do an extremely good job as a community of engaging our youth. We have the kind of resources that appeal to a broad age spectrum, whether it's kid census and in the future, the factory expansion, which is going to engage older kids, the exciting new programs that are going on at our library, our outdoor fitness experiences, the Purple Mountain Greenway, Kiwanis Park. We're building a sort of a family-friendly infrastructure. And the other take-home message that this just reinforced once again, that the things that we do to make this a youth-friendly community require collaboration and cooperation. So the donor community, local government, the educational community, the nonprofit community, the commercial community, and individuals all have to collaborate and work together. And that continues to be, I think, the secret sauce that we have in this community, and then we see it replicated in other communities. Certainly in Hendersonville and Morganton, we saw examples of a similar dynamic, that you don't succeed individually unless all fronts are involved in the engagement.
Yeah, and I think the one thing for me that I always get re-energized during the Main Street conference, because I think, you know, a lot of times we get stuck in the mundane of the day-to-day life of our community.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of things that we're working on or planning for, or we can celebrate. You know, Kiwanis Park is a great example. We highlighted it in our presentation, our Kids in Track Main Street Explorer Trail. So there's a trail that you can actually start at Kid Census, go up to Kiwanis Park, and there's a scavenger hunt all along Main Street and along the Purple Martin, and it gets a lot of traction. There's a kiosk right by the Adventure Playground in Kiwanis Park, and then there's one on the wall right in front of Kid Census, and that was just one of the things we touched on. It's free. But when we really kind of take that, you know, what I call a balcony view, when we were able to stand back and look into downtown and kind of celebrate the successes we've had through multiple organizations. You know, we tout one town, one team, and that's not just town operations. That's so many different agencies working together. It's kind of fun because you hear from other jurisdictions that are struggling, and you might perceive that, oh, things are great here, things are great there. But people look to other communities too for hope and guidance and ideas and innovation and creativity. And when people are looking to Rutherfordton and we're looking to other communities, it's just kind of recharges your batteries. That we do have so many assets here that maybe they blend in because we live here, but we should celebrate them so much.
Yeah, I'm not going to say we take them for granted, but we become accustomed to them.
Right.
Which is great, because one should expect that your community has a variety of rich resources, but you know, success builds on success.
So that was a lot of fun. And then we, you know, kind of had an opportunity to kind of think through some placemaking and some innovative thought around placemaking. That was one of the things that I attended. And then really a session on kind of loving where you live, you know, embracing with with your dollar, you know, you have as a citizen of Rutherfordton, you know, it really starts with your attitude about your community and how you portray your community to others. And so think about the key words that you use when you describe Rutherfordton. I mean, this is your home. So how do you describe that? And then how do you invest your dollar? How do you, you know, where do you buy your coffee? Where do you buy your kids', you know, birthday party games or presents?
Kid Senses.
Kid Senses
that's
or
the answer
Infinity Games, you know,
Infinity Games.
or,
Yes,
you know, how do
true.
you invest in your community? When you go out to eat dinner at night, are you eating at the Copper Penny or Mi Pueblito instead of, you know, Applebee's or, you know, what are the things that you're doing in your community to make it a better place, and how are you engaging? And that was kind of fun. Magnolia, I know you had some really kind of vibrant sessions too. Anything you want to kind of say?
I'm just really excited because some of the things that I sat in on was some were about local food. So how can we engage Ruffton Roots to kind of come more into our downtown area? But also like some innovative things that other municipalities are doing to kind of bring more life into downtown. So I don't want to like put too much out there too fast because it is a lot to take on and to establish, but I'm just so excited for the opportunity and you know, to bring more people and more life to downtown. So
yeah, and you know, one of the big questions was like, you know, do you care about your community? Do you care about the success of where you live? And you know, for us that serve on Rutherford Town Rising, I think of course the answer is yes. Or you ask the question of, if something were, you know, to be exciting in our community, do you want to be a part of it? Well, of course we're on the board, so yeah, that's what we want to do. But how do we then take that and move it into everybody in the community? And I think that's going to be, you know, fun for us in 2022 as we, you know, establish some projects to further entrepreneurship and further, you know, our business community downtown. And then we highlighted the factory. So Willard, I mean, while you're here, shameless plug. Yes. Can you give us all an update on the factory, how it's going, you know, where people can donate?
I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir a little bit here, but and I hope anyone who's listening to us this morning is aware of the rich history of Kid Senses, and it's a tremendous resource for families with children from infants up to about age 10. Well, the original vision for the folks who founded the museum was to engage in a meaningful way with fun learning experiences, kids of all ages. Because of financial realities and sort of the appropriate scale, it was decided that the museum would focus on that earlier age range. Well, fast forward to about now 6 years ago, we decided to expand and create a new experience that embraces the needs of children and youth, really, from age 11 on up into their teens. And we came up with the concept of whole family engagement. So long story short, we purchased a building kind of adjacent behind Kid Senses and started developing plans to create the factory, a place to meet and make. And it's themed around the International Maker Movement. There are what we call zones of engagement, which are a number of experience kind of laboratories where kids can explore technology, health and nutrition. They can build things in a fully functional workshop. There's going to be a really cool space, the Idea Lab, where they can form naturally occurring interest groups and teams and develop their own projects. Adjacent to that, we've got a 7,500 square foot discovery garden, which is going to provide some of the fruits and vegetables that'll go into what we call the food studio, which is a fully functioning kitchen. So it's going to be an exciting community center that will not only engage our current age group, but also this targeted age group of teenagers, or tweens and teens, many of whom, as we know, are at risk in our community. So we're trying to give them a place that they're going to develop a sense of ownership, a sense the knowledge and the skills, really the soft skills to succeed in the future work environment. So that leads to a fulfilling life. So we're connecting all the dots from birth on up into adulthood. So we are about to finish literally this month, phase 2 construction, which is the bulk of the work. This is a $3 million project, and we've raised about $2.5 million so far, and we're getting ready to commence phase 3, which will be the interior fit out and the equipping of the factory. So this is one of those watch this space. You can check our website, kidcensus.org, for current information about the project, our Facebook and social media pages and so forth. But when we finish this, which we hope to by the end of this year or early in 2023, we'll have a 27,000 square foot informal learning complex, which is going to be full of fun, engaging activities. And really, it's going to be unique in Western North Carolina. There won't be anything quite like it.
Yeah. And I'm just energized too, because what I've seen here as we've, if people kind of firing back up, that's kind of what I want to use coming out of the pandemic. Earlier this week, I got invited to go down to Hope Works, which is a program of Blue Ridge Hope, which is engaging our youth after school and kind of helping them make inter school and inter communal relationships, but then also providing a safe spot for them to do homework and just, mentor each other from, middle school kids up to high school kids. Had a chance to speak to them, and that was to me, that was really powerful. And I tried to engage them and empower them about their youth leadership in our community. And then subsequently had a meeting with the student council at the middle school, who wants to get involved inside some of the stuff we're doing here with the town and, be a part of things. So it's really great to see that our youth are starving to be a part of what's going on in the community, but then we're also constructing, brick and mortar space through the factory and your campus to continue to build upon those, that traction that's going on there. So I think as we, continue through 2022 and into 2023, we're just going to continue to see those partnerships, come to life. We had, on a previous episode, we had Michaela Beam, who's the art teacher at the high school, and we've had some other partnerships coming out of the high school. So it's really fun for us to kind of see our youth taking a more active role in their community. And I'll tell you, even pre-pandemic, I don't know that was prevalent. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of an undercurrent there, but to really have a valid reach out and the community wanting that, generally wanting it. And then from the youth side, generally wanting to be a part of the community. I think that's kind of the change, is there's a mutual bond there for engagement.
And you said something earlier in this session this morning, use the word attitude. And I think a youth-friendly, empowering attitude is key. And just as you're saying, opportunities for youth to take responsibility, to engage in a more sort of meaningful level in their community. And one of my favorite examples is one of our local coffee ice cream purveyors, Main Street Coffee and Ice Cream. They hire young people who are given quite a bit of responsibility. And so that when their peers come in for coffee conversation and ice cream, mostly ice cream, I think, they see themselves. They feel at home. They see their friends having a certain amount of responsibility. And trust. Trust is a huge word, especially with teenagers. So, I mean, the owner trains them very well, trusts them, and will, not be on premises. They're running the show. And similarly at Kid Census, we have a lot of youth volunteers, as well as part-time youth that we actually hire. We train them through volunteer activities, and then oftentimes hire them. So again, that sense of engagement at a very, very sort of mature level, a very responsible level, and really trust goes into that. And I'm on a soapbox here, but some years back there was some vandalism, and there were two youths, and
Utes.
and
What Utes doing?
and a young adult involved in this, and there were several thousand
Easy,
dollars.
because I see Reaching Rocco, and it's youth, young adults, and those that guide them. So
Yeah,
I got
okay,
you,
okay,
I got
okay.
you, RJ.
All right, very
I got
good,
it down.
very
I was
good.
dropping it like crazy the other day in the mainstream conference.
Well, and so where I was going with this, the court system is part of that sort of youth-friendly environment. Surprisingly, the two young people were given the option of compensating us, of not having something on their record, and so we ended up hiring one of them.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
and that
Full circle story.
that would not have been possible were it not our cooperating and not wanting them to be punished, but wanting them to be held responsible. The court's responsibility in wanting them to also have an awareness of the consequences, but to complete that, then an opportunity to gain something positive out of this experience. So it involved the police department, it involved the court system, it involved kid senses, and sort of by extension the community at large. So that's really at the root. That's the attitude that we're talking about
here. All right, so kind of switching gears a little bit this morning, I wanted to talk a little bit about some stuff we've got coming up this weekend. I'm going to turn that over to Magnolia, and then we've got a really fun interactive meeting next week that I want to talk a little bit about, and then kind of as Willard called it, the elephant in the room, or why is there some
I'm not going to tell you what else.
No. But we want to talk about that too. But I'm going to turn over to Magnolia, because I know this weekend, even though it's a little chilly, the daffodils are blooming and things are shaping up somewhere in town, right?
Yeah, so we have a lot of work to do at the garden. On Saturday, we're actually cutting all of our seed potatoes up so we can get those ready to plant. And then we have a couple of other things that we really got to do to get the garden going. But I'm so excited for this growing season to really get started. We have, I think, a lot of work days on Saturdays coming up through March. And then I think there are 2 in April where we're actually like getting in the dirt again. So I'm really excited. If you aren't already, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, join our Facebook group. All of our events are in our Facebook and on our rutherford10.net website. So we would love for people to come out. You don't have to stay the entire time. We try and have events or tasks for anybody and everybody to do. So if you're not really comfortable like bending over or lifting heavy things or getting in the dirt, we will definitely find something for you to do. So please come out. And then we also on, Tuesday, had the ribbon cutting for our Rutherford Rise box, which was a kind of a joint effort between Ruffton Roots and the Leadership Rutherford class of 2022. So it is a like fully stocked pantry of like readily consumable items and some hygiene products at Ruffton Roots. So people who are walking down the street that was discharged from the hospital or somebody waiting for the bus stop can come over and get anything and everything that they need to meet that immediate need. So of course, we have to keep that stock somehow. So if you're interested in donating any food items or monetarily supporting that, you can, I guess, reach out to me and we can sort something out. But I'm really excited about it. So.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch the garden just continue to grow. I mean, I know. I mean,
two
gardens, and then, well, not even that wasn't even supposed to be punny, but I mean, you guys have got some major food plots started this year. The main garden piece has been continually to improve with soil amendments and irrigation. I mean, you guys are just, now you've got kind of a communal space there with your tables. It's really fun to kind of see that go, and the amount of enthusiasm with the volunteers that are there. So really, season 2 coming at you, right?
Absolutely. I'm so excited. And I'm really hoping that we can get, I know that Adam would be so excited to get one of those little elephants in the back of your screen.
I actually saw Adam yesterday, so he was excited about it. So
Yeah.
all right, so elephant in the room. What's going on next week? So the town has been actively working on a plan for what we call the Norris Recreation Complex. You may say, what is that? That is the former golf course facility out behind Rutherford Regional Health System. The name Norris comes from just like across the street at the Norris Library. Dr. Norris and his family were influential here around the turn of the century in the early 20s and 30s when they were forming Rutherford Hospital, but also becoming major philanthropic impactors into our community. And so they were the driving force behind the Norris Library, which again turns 100 years old this year. And so celebrate that monumental milestone for Norris. But then also the golf course facility. That facility was built and donated to the town through the Norris family. And so we wanted to pay homage to that as that recreational complex now transitions from one sport into multiple different recreational opportunities for the next century. And so there has been multiple different committees and work, a task force put together by the mayor to come up with a kind of a long range vision for the property. And phase one of that is phase one includes some site utilities, some parking, some grading work to make room for future expansion areas, some picnic shelters, bathrooms, about a mile worth of natural walking trails, about a quarter mile worth of hard pack asphalt trails, and then 2 disc golf courses. So it's slated for an 18-hole championship level expert style disc golf course, and then an 18-hole kind of par 3 entry level disc golf. So if you've never played before, you can do that. And we actually had a really good site visit yesterday with our PARTEF representative, North Carolina Parks and Recreation Trust Fund, who is a major contributor to parks projects like this. They actually contributed $350,000 towards our Kiwanis Park project I guess 2 years ago now. But they have the opportunity to help us with some accessibility funds. And I think we're going to look through with our design how possibly 9 of those 18 holes of the par 3 disc golf can be fully accessible.
That's awesome.
And that's exciting because if you've ever played disc golf, it's a more open turf kind of game. But there is an opportunity for us to make that, fully accessible for all skills, abilities, and ages. And that's going to really open up the sport to different folks. So you may ask yourself, what is disc golf?
The very question I asked years ago when this started.
I asked the same question too. So I will be bluntly honest with y'all watching. Until about mid 2018, 2019, when we started this conversation around the golf course, I had no clue what disc golf was. I mean, you heard it in conversation, but you're like, Frisbees? I don't know.
That was nice.
Folks like Adam Thomas, who has been kind of a vocal supporter of disc golf here locally, but not the only. He's involved with the garden. You kind of dropped his name, but people like Ranger Randy and others in the community really brought that to the forefront. And then it came out heavily in a lot of community surveys. Came out in our Parks and Recreation Master Plan survey, obviously the Norris Recreation Complex survey. And so I tried to figure out a little bit more about it. Yeah. And it's been a really fun sport. I was able to go out with some of the folks in our community to play and to learn.
Are you any good at it?
I am not any good, but I love playing because you get to walk, you get to go outside, and really what you get, some discs. And then simply it's just like regular golf. So you tee off and then your disc lands, in the woods, and you pick it up out of the woods and you throw it in the woods again. You hit a tree maybe. But anyway, the goal is to get your disc into one of these targets.
It's very loud.
Yeah, it's kind of loud. So we'll have the target at the meeting. The meeting is next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, from noon to 1 here at Town Hall. Learn more about disc golf, learn more about the plan for phase 1 of the park. Get your comments in. We'll have some big system maps of the park there. so you can learn more about the vision.
I'm
and
thinking, for future sponsors, your logo here.
yeah,
Just
and
a thought.
actually, if
Opportunity
you've
in the
never played
making
disc
here.
golf, we got two kind of things for you. If disc golf's not your thing, you come out to the meeting and provide some comments. Your name will go in a hat, and you have the chance to win one of these hydro flasks. So these are them. So drop your name, drop some comments at the meeting. And matter of fact, what we will do in the meeting, for those that are watching here, if you cannot attend the meeting, go to the meeting event on Facebook and drop some comments about your support, like, dislike, whatever it is about the meeting. And then we will enter you to win one of these as well. So those in person and on the event. Magnolia, if you want to drop the event in on the comments, they have to go to the event and go on the discussion panel and drop some comments around the plan on there. We will also have, thanks to MVP, we will have some discs there for you to put your hands on, and we'll have some giveaways of the discs as well. So if you've never played before, right now, the only public course in Rutherford County is over at ICC. There is a 9-hole course at ICC that's still kind of active. There's another 9-hole course that's kind of not as active out behind Rutherford Elementary. It's kind of it's not really programmed as much anymore. And then there is an 18-hole course for fee at South Mountain Christian Camp. Okay. So those are the courses that are in our area, but we really think this could be a great opportunity for phase 1 of the complex. So I'm excited about it.
We're going to have shuffleboard at Norris. I'm thinking of a sport that I could,
Yeah, manage. I mean, we can throw it in there.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah. See, and that's what we need. We need comments like that so that we're making sure that we
need comments like
we
that.
need to, be able to see what's going on. Magnolia, have you ever played disc golf?
So at our Dig Into Our Roots event last June, Adam brought a little, I don't know what the technical term of that thing is. Is it
basket?
Basket. Okay, thank you. He brought a basket. And so he was like teaching me like how to like throw it and everything. I think I only got like 1 out of like the 30 something throws into the basket. But hey, like,
gotta start
I'm here
somewhere.
to support it, I guess.
Better than batting 0.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just saying.
Yeah, and the cool thing about disc golf is we're going to have, if you look at the master plan, it's got a walking path all the way around, natural surface trail. We heard that a lot, with the Purple Martin Greenway, the Thermal Belt Rail Trail being asphalt paths. This is going to be a natural surface path. So about a mile loop of natural surface path. So more suited for mountain biking or walking or just really whatever you want to do out there. And so the disc golf, the way the course will be laid out, you really don't even know it's there. I mean, short of, 18 of these baskets being kind of thrown out into the mix of the landscape, you don't really see.
It doesn't require a lot of infrastructure and
not a lot of
terraforming of the.
No, and from the view shed and kind of the green space preservation, the long-term preservation of the 50 acres in the middle of town, it really is going to continue to be for most people a really amazing public green space. So that's fun.
Just got to dodge the discs.
Yeah, well, the course layout is going to allow for the discs to make sure they're not going towards the track.
That's good. That's good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And these aren't like a Frisbee. They're
soft.
They're soft, but they've got a kind of little bit of a hard edge there. So, but come out next Wednesday, noon to 1. Hang out with us for a little while. We'll be in the council room here at Town Hall. We'll have the basket. We'll have all the plans for what we're doing as far as phase 1. If you can't make it on Wednesday the 16th from noon to 1, the town council is also going to be hearing the same updates to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and our PARTEF application at their town council meeting on April the 6th. And that's at 5:30. So if you have some comments that you want to present, good, bad, and different, come on out either on the 16th from noon to 1 or during the town council. They'll have a public hearing, kind of public comment session on the plans, but you can always slide in during the public comments at the front of the meeting too. So you have kind of 2 opportunities at the town council meeting.
So now the Norris Library Board usually or oftentimes has our board meetings. on that Wednesday in the town council room. Are we going to be dodging discs?
I think you guys should just play.
Just play.
Yeah, we could
Okay,
do.
okay.
The cool thing that we could play
I
like a
like
game
that.
of horse.
Yeah.
You know, you could play horse.
I think it's great.
I think so too. And the fun part is we actually had some folks. So the fun is like when we have interlacing between organizations, and you're talking about the Norris Library Foundation. We had some folks from the library at the Main Street Conference.
Yeah.
And I think they got energized with some of the placemaking, some of the interactability. I mean, obviously there's still partners. There's big partnerships between, say, the Garden Club and the Norris Foundation, the Library Foundation, the library and Kid Census and the factory, and many other groups inside the town. But you know, to hear some of their innovative thought, I won't give away what they're up to, but just to hear some of their innovative thoughts, pretty cool for the library moving forward. And today is actually Storytime Day too. So today is the first of our youth Storytimes at Norris Library. I was talking to Reagan, and she said that she was a little worried about it, but she had said that she had got some RSVPs and reached out, and there was going to be like 25 kids there for their first
awesome.
story time. So she was very energized. She's like, bring on the crowd. Let's do it. So
she's so energetic anyway. It's kind of imagine her, you know, notching up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. What else are we forgetting, Magnolia? We talked about kind of the Main Street Conference. We talked about Rutherfordton Roots. You guys have a work day tomorrow. We talked about the Blessing Box with Leadership Rutherford. We talked about some disc golf action.
Still loud.
Still missed that one. So don't
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
That's going to be this coming Wednesday from noon to 1. Again, come in person, drop some comments, get a chance to win one of the hydro flasks. If you can't come, go to the meeting on Facebook, the event in the discussion, drop some comments there, and we will be able to use those comments on Facebook to better the plan. So with it being a public comment session, those are valid. So yeah,
Cool.
What else?
Just a question. So whenever you say drop some comments in person, is that like they're having a one-on-one conversation with us, or is that they're like,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the meeting on the 16th is very informal. I'll be there. We'll have some folks from our design committee there. And so come on in. It's a drop-in style meeting. You don't need to be there from noon to 1. If you only have 5 minutes on your lunch break, slide into town hall, say, hey, I really hate disc golf and I'm really not sure why you guys are doing this. Or, you know, tell me more about the walking path. Tell me more about disc golf. Whatever you're curious about, slide in, learn a little bit more about the meeting. It's a drop-in style meeting. So if you've got 5 minutes, if you got a whole hour, whatever your schedule allows. And we really just want your comments. We want to make sure that if we're going to make an investment here in the community at Norris, that all of the work that's been done by the task force, the recreation committee, and other committees are valid, and that we're doing what our community wants us to do. And so this is kind of your opportunity on the 16th, and then again at the town council meeting.
I'm going to promote shuffleboard.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Are we talking like tabletop shuffleboard with the sand?
Oh, no.
Like,
This is full body, full immersion.
Wait, tabletop shuffleboard?
Ooh.
That's his speed. You know what I mean?
Where have you been? You know, you've never played tabletop shuffleboard?
I've only played like regular shuffleboard. I didn't know there was a tabletop.
Is there
Okay.
beer involved if you're playing tabletop?
No, this is a family-friendly show, Willard.
Oh.
So no,
Well,
there-
you know,
no. There's coffee.
that's coffee.
Yeah. There is a tabletop shuffleboard, Magnolia. You should look it up. It is a mix between, you know, everything that your grandparents did on the shuffleboard court and your dreams and hopes of curling during the Olympics.
Cool.
Interesting.
Now you had me at curling. That's exciting. Can we have curling at the?
Can we do
Norris?
curling on the shuffleboard?
I think that'd be great. Year-round shuffleboard. You know, ice.
I mean,
Ice shuffleboard.
where else in North Carolina can you do outside curling?
See, it'll be unique.
If
It'll
you're
be,
watching
it's
it,
a
you
branding
can-
opportunity for our community.
Come to Rutherfordton. To
Innovative thinking.
curl?
That's what we have here. Out of the box thinking.
Oh, Lord.
All right,
Well,
folks.
Wednesday is going to be also a busy day because, yes, we have the Norris Recreation Complex part of planning meeting But we also have our redevelopment commission meeting. So we're going to be gathering to talk about kind of an update for, we hired the Bowen National Research people to do a housing analysis in residential neighborhoods in a little slice of our downtown area. So we actually have a meeting with them today. So I'll be giving our redevelopment commission an update about that. And then, oh Lord, there's something else on the agenda that we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, the 221 bypass and the update on that and how it's going to impact our urban redevelopment area.
And it started, it's good to see. It's good
Yeah.
to see construction activity on the bypass. They've cleared a good bit of land between Charlotte and Second, and crews have been doing a great job. So fun to see those guys in town. Like I said last week, embrace. There will be construction activity, construction workers, highway workers, all in our community for the next few years, eating in our restaurants, staying and integrating into our town.
Absolutely.
So give them a wave, tell them thanks for being here. It's a really great opportunity for us to showcase our community. And then with the bypass, we're going to make sure that everything that we can do so it doesn't bypass us. There's a great article that we wrote on our website. Go read it if you haven't had a chance to really learn more about some of the plans that the town's working on to ensure that it's a vital asset to us and not something that kind of passes us by.
And with that in mind, I think bypass is a misnomer.
I think it is too.
It's a new grand entrance to Rutherford.
It's a speedway into town.
Speedway into town.
Just watch out for RPD.
But they're friendly.
They are a good group of guys and girls. What else?
Speedway into town.
I don't know. That's the first thing I could come up with.
All right.
Oh my
I like
gosh.
grand entrance.
Grand
It seems
entrance.
more welcoming.
Yeah.
One more thing that is happening.
Red carpet. There you go.
One more thing that's happening next Wednesday is the release of the 3rd issue of the Rutherfordton Sun. So it's just going to be a busy Wednesday next week.
It is.
Mhm.
If you're not signed
It's a
up for
full
that,
day.
it is. It's always a full day here at Town Hall. We're always kind of juggling, different things and trying to do the best we can to get information out and to provide for the community. In other news, we didn't even talk about this before. So the planning board met last night.
Oh.
And it was this week was the 1-year anniversary of the new Rutherfordton development ordinance. So last year, the planning board worked hand in glove with the town council and came up with a totally new vision for the community, new zoning, new mixed use opportunities, some innovative, what I would consider innovative thought around housing and housing footprints inside the town of Rutherfordton. And so we're starting to see the fruits of that planning labor come to life. Projects that came in right on the tail end, like Park Crossing, as they begin to open up another 64 units there. The John Smith Road project, that is one of the newer projects that was approved under the RDO and some of the thought process around mixed use at John Smith. But I am really excited because now we're starting to see collaboration between the urban redevelopment area and the redevelopment commission that Magnolia talked about, trying to spur infill development and bring our neighborhoods back to life in the downtown core. We have 2 projects, one on either side of the urban redevelopment area that are come to life. So one is a kind of a single family home project for 13 single family homes on the east or on the west side of town. And then on the east side of town, we have a project for adaptive reuse. So we have 2 buildings that have sat dormant for some time now. And those are going to be adaptively reused into 16 units of apartment space. And then surrounding that, so not tearing down the structures, surrounding the adaptive reuse of those 16, 24 more units. So the planning board was talking about 53 new units here in Rutherfordton inside existing infill areas, walkable to downtown, no urban sprawl, just, reinvesting in the heart of the community. And so that was really fun to see that. If you're curious about them, you can go on our website and look at the planning board's agenda. The information's on there. And then also, you may have been asking about, hey, what's going on at the old Weston Sons, which is right on North Washington Street, across from the Copper Penny, across from Firehouse Inn. There's been a multinational company that has been working. They've purchased that and they're working on it. And the plans for the facade are on the Historic Commission approved those last night. And that's going to be really cool too. So turning the old Weston Sons kind of automotive repair shop in the heart of downtown into a corporate headquarters.
That's awesome.
So that's going to be really, really neat. So really kind of innovative thoughts around their facade. So go check it out. It's on the planning board's website or agenda site. So that was a fun planning board meeting last night, kind of seeing different things from housing to office space inside Rutherford. So things are moving forward. We're not getting passed by.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We'll have that grand entrance.
That's right. Red carpet.
Formerly known as the bypass.
We could do like a 221 thing. You know, there's like 74, 74A, 74B, 221, 221A, 221 A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know,
we got them all. We collect them all.
That's right. All right. We're getting off the rails here.
Clearly. Coffee.
Cheers. Next week, Magnolia, loving the shirt.
Thank you.
Tell us about next week's episode of Brewtiful Mornings.
So next week, we're going to have Robbie and Brandon, so the chief and assistant chief over at Rutherfordton Fire Department, come on and talk about the ISO inspection and really how that impacts everyone watching today.
Cool.
Yeah. So really excited about that one. That kind of tugs at my heartstrings. Y'all that watch this know that Magnolia and I both are volunteer firefighters, and we have kind of a little sibling who's better than who kind of thing going on, because Magnolia was the firefighter of the year last year, but I was the one that responded to the most calls. So hey, you know,
I also had the most
training hours. Okay.
Well,
you got to catch up.
She actually knows what she's doing.
Easy now, Will.
Debatable.
Easy now. That's debatable, Will. That's debatable.
Well, she's got training.
She's trainable, yes.
I'm trainable. Okay. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I kid.
You wanna talk about the elephant in the room?
Yeah, it's getting ready to walk in when we go off the air. All right.
Hands up, ready to fight.
That's right. So, all right, we'll see you guys next week. We will probably, we haven't really talked, but we'll probably be coming to your show on the road. We'll probably go over to the fire department and be there, be live. Who doesn't love a good fire truck and some firefighters? So you'll learn more. ISO is really important to our community. Real proud of Chief Harrell and Chief Samuel for what they've done, and a great team over there. Providing amazing service out of our fire station on North Mitchell. So you'll learn more about what they're up to, and have an opportunity to maybe get an update on our 1924 restoration project.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so cool.
And updates about our station too.
Big episode coming to you next week. Be prepared.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
I won't be here.
No, but you have a fire truck. You could.
I do have a fire truck. Well, we should work that in somehow.
We should. There's a fire truck inside Kinsets.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Magnolia, thanks as always for providing the platform for Brewtiful Mornings. This, the brainchild of StreamYard, our intro, a lot of the behind the scenes work that you do every week to get links out to folks and help bring people in. I just wanted to say thanks this morning for everything you're doing.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So. All right.
That's it.
That's it. Happy Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
Finally.
Thank you, Willer, for joining us. You made this an enjoyable experience.
You guys are very tolerant. Very tolerant. It's that, welcoming atmosphere.
That's right.
Grand entrance.
Thank you, everybody, for the comments. For those that we didn't get thrown up on the screen this morning, we apologize, but it's amazing to see you. We can see all your comments live on StreamYard. So Dot, RJ, Allison, Ginger, Karen, Travis, everybody that's kind of been on there. I think I saw Jill throwing some comments up. Sonia, Jeannie, thank y'all for engaging. It makes us feel a lot more friendly and fun when we're talking. Carol, just kind of dropping everybody's names. Tasha, thanks for your engagement this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed the show just as much as we do every week. And we'll be back next week from the fire department.
Awesome. Well, have a good Friday and rest of the weekend.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.